Dear soul, the angels are lobbing a ripper of a truth your way, one that'll completely change how you see this person you've been thinking about. For ages, you've been wondering if your feelings were reciprocated, if the vibes you were getting were legit, or just your imagination running wild. You've been trying to read into looks, words, even the silence, hoping for some answers. But now the angels have decided to clear things up once and for all. The truth's about to spill. This person, who's often seemed distant, cold, or even like they couldn't care less, has been holding on to a secret they haven't even fully admitted to themselves. They've got deep feelings for you. But here's the kicker. What they feel is way bigger than you reckon. The angels reckon that even when this person tried to move on, even when they put on a show of not giving a toss, you never left their thoughts. They went out of their way to ignore the stirrings inside, but they failed miserably. Time ticked by, days turned into weeks, maybe even months, and what should have been forgotten just got stronger. Thing is, this person struggles with deep emotions. There's something inside that makes them pull back whenever they cop on they're getting too close. Maybe it's a fear of getting hurt, something that happened in the past, or just a subconscious thing that makes them not want to be vulnerable. The love they feel for you is real, but instead of expressing it, they're fighting it. Before we go any further, chuck this in the comments. I'm open to the truth the universe is throwing my way. Now let's keep cracking on. The angels are saying this person's spending sleepless nights thinking about you. You know that weird feeling you get, like someone sending you some heavy-duty thoughts? That ain't no accident. They're lying in bed and out of nowhere your face pops into their head. They remember details that even you wouldn't remember. The way you grin when you're nervous, the sparkle in your eyes when you're talking about something you're mad about, the way your perfume lingered after you left. And right then and there, they're swamped by a wave of emotions. They're missing you something fierce, but along with missing you comes regret. They realize they could have played things differently, that they could have done a better job of letting. You know how they felt? And that hits them like a ton of bricks, a pain in the chest that keeps them from getting a decent night's kip. What's stopping them from coming closer? Pride? Fear? Or do they reckon you've already moved on? The angels are showing this person's worried they've blown their chances of sharing something real with you. In their heart, one question keeps popping up. Is it too late? They try to get on with life as normal. They yak with mates, work, watch movies, try to distract themselves. But then something simple and out of the blue reminds them of you. A tune, a throwaway line, a whiff of perfume. And in that instant, it all comes flooding back. Their chest tightens up because they know if they'd acted differently, they wouldn't be feeling this emptiness now. If they'd said what they were feeling, at the right time, maybe things would be different between you. But instead of grabbing the bull by the horns, they hide away. They'd rather put on a show of not feeling a thing, that life's moved on, that everything's sweet. But the angels know the truth. It ain't sweet. The silence this person keeps ain't, 'cause they're not feeling anything. It's the opposite. Those who ain't feeling nothing move on without any worries. Those who are feeling something real fight against their own minds, trying to find excuses to explain away what their heart already knows. So here's the big question. Are they going to finally get their act together and tell you how they feel? The angels are reckoning this person's about to make a big decision. The tug of war between fear and the urge to be with you is reaching crunch time. Soon they'll need to decide whether to keep running or finally come clean. The answer ain't just in their hands, it's in yours too. The angels are asking you to have a think. Are you ready to hear the truth? If this person rocks up and spills the beans, are you going to know how to react? Is your heart open to giving them another go, to starting over, to understanding that everyone learns at their own pace? Or has all this waiting around made you see that you deserve someone who ain't scared to own their feelings? The angels don't want you to hang around forever for someone who ain't got the guts to act, but they also don't want you to slam the door on a story that might just be waiting for the right time to blossom. What they're asking is that you trust the big plan and how things fall into place. If this person's meant to come back, they'll come back. If it's meant to be, it'll be. And no matter what happens, you'll be steered towards what's best for you. Now close your eyes for a sec. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, if this person was standing right in front of me now, what would I want to hear? That answer, darling, is inside you. And when the time comes, the angels will make sure you're clear on what you really deserve. If you knew what was going on in this person's head, you'd be floored. There are things they've never had the guts to admit, even to themselves, but now the angels have decided to let you in on it. What this person feels goes way beyond what you reckon, and the reason they're being so quiet ain't what you think. Ever noticed how some people choose silence over truth? How they'd rather run from their own feelings than own them? This person's doing exactly that. Not because they don't care, but because they care too much. The angels reckon that deep down this person's got a whopper of a fear of losing control. For them, admitting what they feel for you means ditching a suit of armor they've spent years building. It means putting themselves out there, taking risks, completely surrendering, and that terrifies them. Before we go any further, chuck this. In the comments 222, I'm calling for clarity and truth. Now let's keep cracking on. Have you ever felt love that was so strong it actually hurt? A feeling that no matter how hard you try to ignore it, keeps coming back stronger? That's exactly what this person's feeling right now. They've tried to shut down what they feel. They've tried to get on with life as normal. But the more they try to put on a show of not giving a toss, the more your presence makes itself known inside them. The angels reckon that this person's been trying to get their head around what's happening. They're asking themselves, why can't I shake this? Why does this person get under my skin so much? What's with this connection that makes me feel things I've never felt before? And the worst part is for them, there ain't any easy answers. They were taught to keep their emotions in check, not to show any weakness, and now they're totally vulnerable to a feeling they can't explain. They're missing you, but they don't know how to deal with it. They want to come closer, but they're scared of what might happen if they let this feeling take over. But the angels are revealing something even more mind-blowing. Yep, this person's going through a real test. The angels reckon this is a learning curve for them. A time when they're being made to look inside and face their own fears and insecurities. They're stuck in a pickle. Keep running from this love and regret it later, or finally let themselves feel, own the truth, and take the risk of being happy with you. The universe is chucking signs in their path. Signs that show this connection can't be ignored. And believe it, they've been seeing these signs. Maybe you've noticed certain things falling into place too. Certain moments, when you're thinking about them and out of the blue, something happens that makes you remember them even more. That ain't just coincidence. The angels are trying to show both of you the truth, but this person's still digging their heels in. But there's something that's about to change everything. This person's reaching the end of their tether. The angels reckon they can't fight what they feel any longer. The silence is weighing them down. The fear of losing you is growing. They're getting closer and closer to taking action. But here's where things get real. You need to decide what you want too. If this person decides to talk, to open up, to own up to what they feel, what are you going to do? Are you willing to listen? Do you reckon this connection's still got a way to go? Or do you believe it's time to move on without looking back? The angels are asking you to have a think about this. While this person's facing their own dramas, you've also got the right to decide what you want for your life. And that decision needs to come from the heart. The angels are whispering that this story ain't over yet. What's coming might change. Everything. Whatever happens, this person's next moves are going to spill the truth once and for all, and you need to be ready for it. If this hit home, chuck this in the comments. The truth will be revealed when it's meant to be. Sweetheart, the angels are on your side. If you've been feeling something different going on lately, like something's about to happen, know that it ain't just in your head. The universe is moving, and the truth you've been hanging out for is closer than ever. This person who's been hogging your thoughts is in the middle of a real ding-dong. What they feel for you ain't something that'll pass. It ain't something you can just ignore. Far from it, every day that goes by, they're more and more sure that you're something special. But along with that, sureness comes the fear. This person's missing you, but their pride, uncertainties, and worries have kept them from opening up till now. They know they can't put off making a choice any longer. Before we get any further, whack this in the comments. I'm happy to have the truth the universe is chucking my way. Now, on we go. The angels reckon this person thinks about you constantly. From the moment they wake up till they're trying to get some sleep, you're popping into their head. Little things during the day remind them of you. A tune, a smell, a word they happen to hear. They wonder what you're up to, if you still feel the same way, if there's still a chance for the two of you. And that uncertainty is doing their head in. They've tried to get on with things, tried to find things to take their mind off you, get stuck into other stuff, focus on other bits of their life. But nothing's been enough to fill the hole that's been there since you went your separate ways. What they feel for you ain't gone away. If anything, it's only got stronger over time. For the longest time, this person thought they could keep their feelings under control, thought they could just ignore it, put on a show of not giving a toss, get on with life without looking back. But now the angels reckon they've seen how wrong they were. They've seen that you not being there has left a hole that no one else has been able to fill. And now they're getting more and more worried that they'll lose you for good. They ask themselves, what if I've waited too long? What if she's already moved on? What if I never get the chance to say what I feel? These thoughts are robbing this person of their peace. Regret has become something that's always there. And the more they think about it, the more they need to do something before it's too late. The angels reckon this person's already worked out how they go about getting in touch with you. They've written messages and then deleted them. They've thought about giving you a buzz and then chickened out at the last second. They've been checking out your life through your mates or on social media, trying to work out how you're doing without them. But now, they're getting to the end of their rope. The silence that felt all right before is now a nightmare. They're missing you so bad it's hurting, and they're wanting to get back in touch more and more. They feel like they need to act, and pretty soon they will. Before that moment comes, the angels want you to have a think about something that's really important. If this person turned up right now and told you everything they felt, would you be ready to listen? Do you want to give it another shot? Or do you feel like it's all done and dusted? That answer needs to come from the heart. Often we hang out for something for so long that when it does finally happen, we see that we don't actually want it anymore. That's why the angels are asking you to connect with what you really want. This ain't just a test for them. The universe is also testing you. It wants to know if you've learned from the past, if you still want this connection, or if you're happy to get on with things in a new direction. This person's coming back, that's already been decided. But what happens after that is up to you. And that's what the angels want you to get your head around before the moment comes. Things are moving. This person can't keep putting it off. The silence is about to be broken, and the truth is going to come out. And when that moment comes, you'll know exactly what to do. If this hit the spot, chuck this in the comments. The universe is getting me ready for the truth. The angels are on your side. The angels have led me to you to bring you a fair dinkum message. Have you been feeling a different vibe around lately? Like something's about to happen, but you can't quite put your finger on it. That ain't just your imagination. The universe is moving, and what was hidden is now starting to show itself. This person who you're still feeling for is still connected to you, even though they've been trying to hide, ignore, or shut down those feelings. But now, they feel like they can't dodge the truth any longer. Destiny's being worked out, and you need to be ready for it. Before we go any further, chuck this in the comments. I'm willing to go with what the universe has in store for me. Now on we go. The angels reckon this person's been taken over by memories of you. Something inside them has changed, and now you're taking up even more space in their thoughts. They might be surrounded by people, busy with their day-to-day stuff, but nothing can take their mind off what they feel. Your name might not have been said by them lately, but in this person's heart you've never left, and now they know that for sure. But along with that comes the fear. They always thought they had time, always thought they could come back when they wanted, that you'd always be there. But now something inside them's saying different. The angels reckon this person's starting to feel that if they don't act soon, they could lose you for good. That worry's getting worse every day. They keep thinking about you getting on with your life, finding someone who rates you like they should, have done. They wonder if there's still room for them in your life, if there's still time to rewrite the story. And this stress is starting to change things. The silence that felt all right before is now making them go troppo. The angels reveal that this person's been looking for signs, trying to work out what to do. Maybe they've gone a bit spiritual, trying to work out what they feel, trying to find answers to their questions. They want to know, do you still feel anything for them? Is there still a possible way for the two of you? Or have they blown their chances for good? They need those answers before they act. And what happens now depends on what the universe puts in front of them. This ain't just a test for them. The angels reckon this is a ripper time for you too. The universe wants to know, do you still want this connection? Or is it that while you were waiting for this person, you clocked that you deserve something different? That answer needs to come from the heart. What do you feel when you think about them now? Do you still feel a knot of feeling sorry for yourself? Or do you feel like something's broken and can't be fixed? The angels don't tell you which way to go, but they ask you to be straight up with yourself. Destiny's moving, but the final call is yours. This person can't put it off any longer. The angels reckon they're about to do something. Pretty soon, something'll happen that'll bring this truth out into the open. It might be a chance meeting, a message, a clear sign that you can't dodge. And when that happens, you need to be ready. What'll you do when the moment comes? That answer needs to be clear in your head, because the time for mucking about is coming to an end. Fate's already being drawn up. Pretty soon, this person's going to have to decide if they're going to fight for this connection or let you go forever. And when the moment comes, you'll also have to decide what you really want. If this hit the spot, chuck this in the comments. I'm ready for the truth. The angels are on your side. The moment the angels tipped you off about is coming closer and closer. You've felt it in your heart, haven't you? There's something different in the air, a feeling that something big's gonna happen. And it ain't just your imagination. This person who's in your thoughts is having a real headspin. They feel something that's so full on they can't hide it any longer. But along with that feeling comes the fear. They know that if they want to be with you, they'll need to change. They can't put on a show of not giving a toss anymore. They can't run from what they feel. And that scares them. Before we keep going, pop this in the comments. I'm gonna go with what's best for me. Righto, on we go. The angels reckon this person's being eaten up by thinking about you. They wonder what it would be like if they'd done things differently. If they'd spoken up when they had the chance, if they'd shown you what they were feeling sooner, they're fair dinkum regretting it. They've already seen that losing you would be a mistake they could never make up for. That's why they're gonna make a move soon. This person's having a real ding-dong inside. They've got two big fears. One, the fear of getting hurt. They're worried that if they open up to you, things won't pan out how they want. Two, the fear of losing you for good. Because if they don't do anything now, they might never get another chance. The angels reckon that second fear is getting worse, and that's why something's gonna happen soon. They need to make a choice. The angels reckon this person can't ignore the truth anymore. They've spent sleepless nights thinking about you. They've already worked out what they'd say, wondered how you'd react. And now they're about to do something. Whether it's a message, a call, a chance meeting, something's gonna happen. But before it does, the angels want you to think about something that's really important. This decision ain't just theirs, it's yours too. You need to ask yourself, what do you really want? Does this story still mean anything to you? Or is it that you've learned all you needed to from this connection? The angels don't want you to put up with less than you deserve. If this person comes back, it needs to be to add to your life, to grow with you. Not to do the same old stuff. The angels reckon this is a test. For them, it's a test of courage. Are they going to get the guts to say what they feel? For you, it's a test of knowing what's what. Do you still want this story? Or have you learned that you deserve something different? Whatever happens next will be for keeps. The angels say the end of the story's coming up fast. Whatever the outcome, you'll be steered in the right direction. Just get ready. If this hit the spot, chuck this in the comments. I'll go with what's best for me. The angels are on your side. The angels want you to listen up because something big's about to happen. If you felt a different vibe lately, it ain't just a coincidence. The universe is sending you signs, and you need to have your wits about you to clock them. This person you're thinking about is going through a big change. What they feel for you never went away, but now it's becoming impossible to ignore. They know they need to do something, and the universe is pushing them to do it. Before we keep going, pop this in the comments. I'm ready for the signs from the universe. Righto, on we go. The angels reckon this person's already seen that. They can't keep going like this. They've tried to run from what they feel. They've tried to ignore it, tried to get on with things, tried to convince themselves that it was best to leave it all behind. But now they know none of that's worked. And that's why a change is about to happen. The angels reckon that before this person gets in touch, you'll get a sign. It might be a dream, a thing falling into place, an unexplainable feeling that something's about to happen. You might see the same numbers over and over, hear a tune that reminds you of this person, or even have a chance meeting. The universe always gives you the heads up before the big changes. And that's coming your way. The angels reckon this person's still fighting a battle with themselves. They know they need to open up, but they're also scared. Scared of looking you up and not knowing what to say. Scared that you won't want to hear them. Scared of making things worse for good. But one thing's for sure, the silence is weighing too much on them. And soon they won't have any choice but to act. This story ain't just about them. The angels are asking, what about you? What do you want? Do you still reckon this person's part of your path? Or do you believe it's best to get on with things now? That answer needs to come from the heart. And when the time comes, you'll have to be ready to answer. The angels say this connection ain't done yet. Something's gonna happen that'll bring this person back into your life. And when that happens, you'll need to make a decision. If this hit the spot, chuck this in the comments. I trust the signs from the universe. The angels are on your side. The universe is about to lob some answers your way that'll change everything. If you've been feeling lately that something big was gonna happen, you were spot on. The circle that started ages ago is coming to an end, and the angels want you to get ready for what's next. This person who's been trying to ignore their feelings has finally copped on that they can't run anymore. The silence has become too much to bear. The worries don't stack up anymore. Their heart, which has been hemming and hawing, is now saying one thing loud and clear: they need to do something before it's too late. But the big question now ain't just about what they're gonna do, it's about what you want. Before we go on, pop this in the comments. I'm happy to have the truth of Hugh universe has in store for me. Righto, let's keep cracking on. The angels reckon this person spent too long thinking they could put off the decision, thought they could put you on ice, that one day, when they felt safe, they could come back without any worries. But now, they've seen that time waits for no one. They feel that if they don't act now, it might be too late. That's been keeping them up at night. It's been making their heart race when they think about you. They need to make a move, and quick. And when that decision's made, everything will change. If you've been seeing the same signs over and over lately, like numbers, tunes, or even dreams about this person, listen up. The universe is trying to give you the heads up that something important's coming. Maybe you've felt that this person still thinks about you. Maybe you've dreamt about getting back together. Maybe you've remembered him at random times for no good reason. None of that's just happenstance. The angels want you to get that these things falling into place are a warning. The time for truth is nearly here. The angels reckon this person's been holding on to words they've never had the guts to say. They want to tell you about the times they thought about looking you up but chickened out. About the days they wanted to send you a message, but fear got in the way. They want to tell you that, no matter how hard they tried to get on with things, you've still been there inside them. They need you to know that what they feel for you is real. But the question now is, do you still want to hear those words? This story was never just about this person. It was always about the two of you. Now the angels want you to have a good look at yourself and ask, what do I really want? Do you feel like this connection's still got a purpose in your life? Or has time shown you that it's time to get on with things in a new direction? That answer needs to be straight up. Not based on missing them, on fear, or on not knowing what to do, but based on what makes sense to you now. Because when this person finally gets in touch, you'll need to give them an answer for keeps. The angels reckon this is a real ripper time in your love life. No matter what happens, this circle is coming to an end. If this person's meant to be in your life, it'll be for real, without any games or feeling weird about things. If you're meant to get on with things without him, then so be it, with a clear head, peace of mind, and the sureness that the universe is steering you to something even better. Anywho, what's coming will be for keeps. The angels are asking you to get ready mentally. Take a big breath and ask yourself, if this person turned up today, what would I want to say to him? If this was the last bit of the story, how would I want it to end? The universe gives you the right to make your own choices. And whatever your choice is, it'll be listened to and respected. There ain't any room for not knowing what you want anymore. Pretty soon this person's gonna have to talk, and you'll need to make a choice. How the story ends is in your hands. If this hit home, chuck this in the comments. I'm willing to go with what's best for me. The angels are on your side. If this hit home and relates to your situation, pop this in the comments. I'm in charge of what happens. Share your thoughts in the comments. If you got something out of this, like and subscribe for more good stuff. Tay for listening, and see you for the next bit of your story.